Everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and it's another Have a Yarn with Tracy. I feel like I'm not centered. Maybe I've got bigger one side than the other. Don't even go there, Trace. I forgot to get ready, didn't I? So this is my order book and it's almost over. Gary bought me a couple for Christmas, but they haven't really lasted that long. That's the ones. And so I ordered some new ones today and they arrived from Amazon, and here they are. I don't know what they're like yet. Got them out. I haven't had a chance to look. There's 4 of them. They look kind of snazzy, and what I like about them is they've got a nice lot of space, because sometimes you only get like 5 lines, which is no good, because some people, they order, say, 10 different yarns, but you know, especially if you're doing a colour, a blanket, and it needs 2 of those, 2 of those, 2. So you know, I need space to it. And then there are some people who order so much that I have to use 2 pages, and probably still would, but I used to just use an A4 book and draw, you know, not worry about lines, just write it in a certain way. But I quite like this because it's got all the info that you need, place for your tracking number and all that stuff. So it's similar to the one that Gary got me. This was tiny, but it still had the same info in the, I think that one's got a couple more lines, but that one had 10, which isn't bad. I've had them before where he's bought me one and it's been like a big A4 one and it's had 5 lines. You think, oh, you know, and there's all this unnecessary information that I don't actually need on there. So anyway, I was coming to an end. I was going to have to go back to an A4 book, but found those, so might as well get them. Wow, so it's all sunny out there again today and started to get a bit hot. I've had the aircon on today because it has been quite warm. Well, I was filming my crochet along and I was getting hot doing that, and just really, you know, when you get hot and you're crocheting, sometimes it like squeak. So I really didn't want that, and I managed to get through it, but I made a couple of mistakes which I had to edit out, and I don't like doing that. But they were big enough to edit out. Only stupid things, but I kind of thought, rid of that one. And yes, I did that anyway, and I did the right-handed and the left-handed, and they're up. Now. So that's pretty good. I managed to get that done. And I was going to get on and do quite a few tutorials today, and Gary came home sick. So in a way, I would have filmed them and it would have made my videos late, as I had so much that I had to kind of do. But I did this morning film a whip along, whipping the cow, I like to call it. And so that's filmed as well. So I did do that. And I've got another inside track and a members giveaway to do. So yay, yeah. Gradually catching up with myself. I got so behind, really did. Got so far behind when I was ill, and as luck would have it, I had a nice kind of easy square to do that I wanted to update my no turning chain one, and it, you know, it's kind of an easy one for me, and I could fall back on that. I've got several in my mind, and that's why another reason I wanted to get some of them done today, because I, you know, if I leave them too long, I forget them completely, and I lose the oomph for them. I kind of start doing something, I think, yes, get that down. If I leave it too long, then I think, how did I do that? Even my own notes make no sense when I'm in that frame of mind, and I can write them down painstakingly, and then I just lose it. I lose that one, and so I don't like to let it move on too quick or too far before I get it down. So yeah, my hair is getting so long, but I think I don't like this bit. I feel like it needs cutting, because, well, I know that it can't all be the same length on that bit, but it does look a little choppy. It's like the way it fanned out then. Like, if you're hot. But yeah, I know. It's kind of, it's at the stage where it wants washing anyway. Plus the humidity don't do any favours. So yeah, I kind of been busy again this morning. I went out the yarn van and did a bit of order packing. And I've got the postman coming again tomorrow, so then they will all be off on their travels. So I batch recorded the other day, as I said I was doing and trying to get ahead. And what I'd batch recorded was Hump Day giveaways. So all my Hump Day giveaways are going to be wearing the same clothes. It's like, even if it's, you know, I'm wearing something else in the morning, it'll be like, whoa, she's gone back to that white top again. Right, yeah, I did them. And I sort of thought, I've got to do a few Wednesdays now. I can use Wednesdays for other things. So, simples. I might do a few Sunday fun days as well in advance. It's going to help me no end to do that, I think. And maybe on a day where I've not got much going on, I can do that. It's a little more difficult with a tutorial, isn't it? You just got to get that. And I'm going to yawn. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I couldn't sleep last night. I was wheezing. And I had my inhaler and it didn't stop. And have you noticed my voice has gone all kind of deep and croaky again? And I think that's because I had apple cider vinegar. And it must have thought, whoa, not keen on that. Then I went outside and my neighbour had a fire. And I think the smoke, the apple cider vinegar, has kind of got my voice a bit scratchy. But hopefully that's all it is. Another illness, for crying out loud. But yeah, actually had with the mother apple cider vinegar and 2 teaspoons in some water, and it wasn't too bad. At the time it's like, thank goodness I've got another drink. Okay, let's do the books as I have this one. Okay, we had a rip-roaring fight yesterday. So, happy Hump Day, guys. I know I always forget to say it, you know, because it's not Hump Day for me. Because as you well know, your today is my yesterday. My today, your tomorrow. And this is Boba saying, I was left for dead on the sands of Tatooine like you. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, mate, because I was not left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. Just saying. What you banging on about? Okay. You wouldn't believe we inspired the catwalk. This is a crime against fashion. A chick mother's tush on the catwalk. Yeah. Love that song. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Do you remember that one? To get us all nostalgic again, looking back. It's funny, you get to a certain age, it's, oh, looking back, oh, bit nostalgia coming in. Well, it was better then. You know, it's no getting out of here. Every generation does this, doesn't it? It was better in my day. Because it was, you know, it's getting steadily worse. It was better when my sister was young, swinging 60s. It was better when my mum was young, rip-roaring 40s and 50s. It's just everything gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Where's it going to end? Goodness, how philosophical are we getting today? What? I think we stop that right now and have a cup of tea. Yeah, put the world to rights with a cup of tea. It's quite hot, actually. I'm sitting up higher. I was sent to do my cowl. I thought, what's going on here? I can't get it in. Then I suddenly realised every now and then my seat just sinks and sinks and sinks. So I hiked it back up again. So I feel like I'm in the clouds talking to you now. get a nosebleed or something in a minute because it's so high. Yeah, it's thin. Anyway, so Gary brought me some boxes home, but I do need to get some more boxes and figure out what ones to get. All of this logistics that you have to get, it's a bit tiring, really. And I've got to make some stitch markers. I'm getting very low on them now, so I've got to factor in some stitch marker making time. And I've got to make chicken dinner today. And we're having new potatoes, you know, little ones. And Gary's having a salad. I don't think there's enough salad for both of us. So me being a complete and utter salad dodger, I'll let him have it. I'll have some peas and corn or something. Don't bother me. I'd rather have that, to be honest with you. I haven't got any other veg in. I haven't been shopping for ages. Not proper shopping where you load up the trolley and you take it home and you can't get another thing in your fridge. Remember that? I've done that for so long. I've had a lot of expense recently, so that's one of the reasons that I've not done it. Because the cars have cost an absolute mint. You know, if it's not cars, it's birthdays. Birthdays. Got another one coming up. Well, we've got two. Gary's got one and I've got one. And it won't be as expensive as Paul's. And Paul was faulty. The further faulty. Yeah. Honestly. That just reminded me of a message I got from Michael last night. And I can't possibly repeat them, but he does a Deirdre Barlow impression. Just sends me these messages and he won't stop. And he just gets hooked on this. And the thing he accuses Gail of, I can't really go into. Oh, it does drive me mad. I kept asking him, have you found out what I can get Tyler for his birthday? And I get this reply in the voice of Deirdre Barlow. Like, so, what's happening regarding Tyler's birthday then? What day are we going to see him and give him his present? So I get another reply, it's Deirdre Barlow. So, you know, I know where he gets it from. It doesn't make it any better. Doesn't make it any better knowing that you're the person that put that gene in his body. You know, just saying. What can you do? I mean, he's so... I did the same stuff. I can't really moan. I did worse, probably. Anyway. What else forgot to do this week? A square. Oh, whistled. I gotta do I can't do it when you want to, can you? Square. Do you remember? It was a programme on TV that I used to absolutely love. It was called Arthur, the King of Camelot. And it was a cartoon. And obviously it was all the Knights of the Round Table. But when Lancelot used to say sire, he used to whistle every time. It was like, sire. And whenever I whistle, it just pops into my head. I think of Arthur, the King of Camelot. I loved that programme. Absolutely. And in fact, I found a picture of it a little while ago when people saying, post up a picture of a thing you loved when you were a kid, like an animation. And I did too. I did Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, because I loved that so much. And Arthur, the King of Camelot. Brilliant shows. Don't make them like that anymore. They really don't. The best thing, I mean, best cartoon that they made in a long while was Johnny Bravo. But other than that, I just watch these kids' programmes now. Sometimes I'm forced into it, you know, trying to pacify a child, and all you can hear is like high-pitched, squeaky, horrible. Like everything is either sulking or, you know, let's do this, blah, 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 blah. And everything's so squeaky and loud. You know, we didn't have that. We had proper programmes. Proper voices. Shire. You know, it was good. It was. We watched good stuff. The stuff that's around now. Bunch of hyperactive, squeaky loud kids. Or adults pretending to be kids half the time. Rubbish shows. Absolute rubbish. They don't know they're born, do they? Sorry. See what I mean about he gets it from me? Oh my God, I just did it. Anyway. Oh. Promise I won't do it again. No, promise I don't know if I'll be able to keep. You know, it just pops in. Psycho person jumps into my body and I can't help myself. Or something like that. So yes, while I was at the yarn van earlier, I brought in a yarn because, do you remember the other day I showed some yarn that I got, and it was that chenille, and there was a very light kind of fawn colour and a white one, and I wanted a darker, so I brought in the chestnut colour of the Squeeze Me, and took it out of stock 'cause it's mine now, and I'm going to hopefully do something with those. Excuse me, I've got itchy nose. And then that's one square. Two of the squares that I've got in my head I can't actually do now because they're sometime in the future. And then there's another one which is a coaster and a square, which, so there'll be a project of the coaster and then, you know, we'll make the square. Or I'll do two. It's one or the other, because one is, well, I can easily do the one because I made one out of cotton to show the coaster. I want to try and perfect something first, though. There's a not a join, but a thing that you do which causes an effect that I don't like. I want to try and, you know, gate that effect if I can first. If not, we just have to do it as it is and put up with it. Your eyes don't automatically see it until once you've seen it, you can't stop seeing it, if you know what I mean. It's a bit like Britney Spears, right? What's that got to do with Britney? Well, I'll tell you. I was in the car one day and I hadn't slept much because I was on nights. I used to work for the ambulance service. I was on nights and we had a run of nights. And on my way home, early hours, very early in the morning, I was listening to the radio, trying to keep me awake. And Oops, I Did It Again came on. And I'd never heard this aspect of her singing before, but it was all I heard from that moment on, and I couldn't stand listening to Britney Spears. Do you know, every time she did anything, she croaked. She went, ah, like that. Before every sentence, it was like, ah. And if you listen to it now, you'll hear it, because I've brought it up. But it was, you know, ah, and then she'd sing every single time. And once I heard that, it was ruined. I couldn't listen to it again. And every time I heard her sing from that moment on, I listened to the croak before she sang. And yeah, but it was because I was so tired, and my brain was latching onto this annoying aspect. You know, when you're tired, things are annoying. Well, they do me anyway. Yeah. And did you know, they reckon that when things annoy you like that, like a noise or someone chewing, that's just manners. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. I don't agree with that one. But when they say that that's an affection that you've got, like you've got this condition. Can't remember what it's called. I call it manners, you know. You know what I mean? When they say that you'll get annoyed by certain things. Did you know it's kind of hormonal? That when your hormones are a bit out of whack and you're a little bit more highly strung, you can be. See, I've been reading them books, can't you? Very interesting. I heard the only thing is, from what I've read so far, I was hoping it wouldn't be a diet that you had to buy stuff for, but looking into the absolute letter of it could be very expensive to follow. Only because, you try and not put toxins in your body. So it's best to buy organic and grass-fed meats and stuff like that. Well, it's all right if you've got a doctor's salary. That's all I can say. But you know what I mean? it's quite an expensive way to eat, but it is obviously, your body is your temple, and it's what you put in it. It makes a difference, you know, makes a difference to absolutely every aspect of your life, believe it or not. And Gary knows that more than anyone right at this precise moment in time, because his hand and wrist have swollen up and he's really in a lot of pain. And he's now believing it's gout, because before he's had all the blood tests and it's not come back as anything. And he does have gout, which he usually gets in his foot. And he hasn't had that for a long time. And so when he was saying, I think it might have been like the dinner that we had, like roast dinner. And I thought, well, I had that before the dinner. So I decided to look up the foods that aggravate gout. And he's ate near enough every one of them recently. So he's had a lot of rices, white rice. He's had a lot of bread, a lot of rolls. They're all white bread. It had red meat because we had beef, but that he had the problem before. But obviously it might have exacerbated it. Good word. We'd had crumpets, which is another white bread type thing. And so now, and when he has crumpets, he has Marmite. Sorry, Bovril we ate. It would slap me silly. It wouldn't really, but it's Bovril. And yeast extract calls it. So it had that, and it's just like everything that he'd had recently was a factor. So it is a possibility that it was playing up gout. See, if I eat gluten and I eat the wrong things, I have an ankle pain. And when I'm walking, it could easily go over. And it's just the one left ankle always, as soon as I have that, I think, oh, I've done it again, haven't I? I've gone over the top with the gluten. It's weird. What we eat does affect us so much without realising it. And you can be blind to that. You can never know. Anyway. I know what you're saying. Shut up and show us some yarn, stupid cow. That's what you're saying. I can hear you. Good. I've got this yarn to show you. It's very pretty. I was going to put this in my shop. It is King Cole Safari. Very, very, very squishy. And I did get some of this, but I'm going to do it as a members giveaway. And that's what I should be doing, because I know that I've done a lot of wool content stuff. I've done a lot of hanks, because I had a lot of hanks from when I did Knit Crate and all those things, and I had some others as well. So I did a lot of hanks, and I know a lot of people don't like wool or can't use wool, me being one of them. So I thought I'd probably look at this. It's got what I didn't think of that. Let me see. Let me see. 100% premium acrylic. I thought it was squishy, so thought it should be. So that's what I shall do for my next one. Anyway, I better get off, film my inside track and my members giveaway, and get out there and start the dinner, because it's not going to cook itself. I don't really fancy doing it, to be honest with you. I hate those days, you know, when you've got to cook and you think, I really don't want to cook. I'm having one of them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.